Getting back into reading is usually not a motivation problem. It is a friction problem. You stopped because the next book felt like work, or it asked for more attention than you had that week. This guide gives you a restart system that is simple and low pressure. You will pick one path, choose one starter book, and then use a short plan to rebuild momentum without forcing a new identity. There are 3 restart paths. Path 1 is wonder and comfort, where the goal is to enjoy pages again. Path 2 is curiosity without stress, where the goal is to keep turning pages with clear, friendly writing. Path 3 is momentum, where the goal is short chapters and strong pull so you remember what it feels like to be absorbed. You will hear 6 book options in total. Each one is reliable, widely available, and designed to lower the mental load of starting. You do not need to finish all 6. You only need one book that fits your energy right now, and a process that makes your next reading session inevitable. A small fact that helps. Habit research is clear that identity comes after repetition. You do not need to feel like a reader before you read. You become a reader by showing up for short sessions that feel easy to repeat. One more reset that works is to lower the bar on comprehension. On a restart, you are allowed to read for mood, not mastery. If you drift, reread one paragraph and move on. The goal is returning tomorrow, not proving anything today. The Hobbit, J.R.R. Tolkien. A classic quest fantasy with warm humor and clear prose. Set across hills, forests, and mountain roads where the world feels big but never confusing for new readers. If reading used to feel like comfort, this is a reliable way to get that feeling back. The chapters have a steady storybook rhythm, so you always know where you are. It is also a clean on-ramp into bigger fantasy without asking you to memorize lore. You can read it as a complete experience, and if you later want more, it connects to the wider Middle-earth world. A practical reason it works as a restart is that it does not demand long sessions. One chapter is enough to feel progress. You can stop at a chapter ending and return without anxiety. That is a key difference between a gentle starter and a demanding book. Interesting background can also help motivation without adding pressure. Tolkien originally told parts of this story aloud to his children, which is part of why the voice feels welcoming. If you later want more, The Hobbit connects to the wider Middle-earth books, but you do not need to commit to that now. If you prefer shorter bursts, treat each chapter as a small bedtime story for yourself. Stop at the end of a chapter on purpose, so you always have a clear place to return. That feeling of a clean stopping point is a quiet reason this book helps people restart. The Thursday Murder Club, Richard Osman. A modern cozy mystery with gentle humor and clear pacing, set in a quiet retirement community where everyday routines and small observations create a steady, comforting reading groove. This is a restart book for readers who want forward motion without heaviness. The tone stays approachable, and the chapters tend to end with a small question that pulls you forward. You do not need to be a mystery expert. You just need to enjoy people talking, noticing, and making sense of clues. It is also a series which can help once your habit returns. You get the satisfaction of finishing one book, and you have an easy next step if you want to keep going. That reduces the second decision that often breaks a restart, which is deciding what to read after your first finish. A useful way to read this on a comeback is to keep sessions short but frequent. 10 to 20 minutes is enough to keep names and details fresh. Consistency matters more than binge reading at the start. The Giver, Lois Lowry. A short, clean dystopian classic with simple sentences and a focused tone, set in a controlled community where ordinary life feels calm on the surface and quietly strange underneath. When you are rebuilding a reading habit, short books are not a compromise. They are a strategy. This one is widely taught because the prose is accessible, but it is not shallow. It gives you a complete, thought-provoking experience in a compact package, which creates a fast win. It is also connected to a larger set of books, but you can treat this as a standalone first finish. If you love it, you have optional continuation. If you do not, you still got the momentum of finishing. That is exactly what you want early on. A practical tip is to read it in 2 or 3 sittings. Short books work best when you let them stay present in your mind for a few days. That keeps the emotional thread intact and makes you feel the satisfaction of completion sooner. Gone Girl, Gillian Flynn. A modern psychological thriller with sharp, readable prose and fast chapter turns, set in an ordinary American town where public stories and private realities collide in a tense, controlled atmosphere. This is a restart pick for people who say, "I want a book that grabs me." The writing is direct and the pages move quickly, which helps you rebuild the muscle of sustained attention. It is also the kind of book that makes you notice time passing, which is a strong cure for a long reading break. Use it as a momentum tool, not a mood test. Read in 30-minute blocks if you can, because thrillers reward continuity. If 30 minutes is too much right now, read 2 short chapters and stop at a natural break. The goal is to create a reliable urge to return. The Silent Patient, Alex Michaelides. A contemporary psychological suspense novel with short chapters and straightforward language, set around a private clinical world and a tight circle of relationships that keeps the focus narrow and readable. This is another momentum book, but it is especially useful for people who feel distracted. The chapters are built for stop and start reading, so you can pick it up during a commute or a break without losing the thread. That makes it a good match for modern attention patterns. A practical use case is to pair it with a consistent trigger, after coffee, after lunch, or right before bed. When the trigger is stable, the book becomes the easy part. Keep a simple rule: 1 chapter minimum. Often, 1 chapter becomes 2, and 2 becomes a routine. Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. Gail Honeyman. A contemporary character-driven novel with simple, steady prose, set in everyday modern life where routines, small interactions, and dry humor create a quiet but satisfying reading experience. This is a restart pick for readers who do not want intensity. If you stopped reading because life felt noisy, a calmer book can be the right re-entry. The pages move through ordinary days in a way that makes reading feel like spending time with someone, which is a very low-friction kind of attention. It is also a good reminder that not every restart needs adrenaline. Some readers quit because they keep choosing books that require emotional energy they do not currently have. This one gives you steadiness. If you want to rebuild the habit first and chase bigger challenges later, it fits that order well. Here is a simple 2-week restart plan that works even if you have failed before. Step 1 is to choose a starter book that matches your energy. If you want comfort and imagination, pick The Hobbit. If you want low-stress curiosity, pick The Thursday Murder Club. If you want a quick finish, pick The Giver. If you want momentum, pick Gone Girl or The Silent Patient. If you want gentle company, pick Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. Step 2 is to remove choice from your day. Put the book where you will see it. Decide your reading time now. 10 minutes is enough. Do not negotiate at the moment. Step 3 is to protect the streak. For 14 days, the goal is not pages, the goal is showing up. If you miss a day, you do not restart at 0, you resume at the next 10-minute session. This removes guilt, and guilt is one of the fastest ways to quit. Step 4 is to end sessions early on purpose. Stop when it still feels easy. That leaves a little desire for next time, which is what creates momentum on a restart. Format choices can either help your restart or sabotage it. If you are tired at night, print might be harder, so audio can carry you through the first week. If your day has small gaps, an ebook on your phone can turn waiting time into reading time. The best format is the one you will actually use, not the one you think a serious reader should use. Some of these books are especially friendly in audio because the pacing is clear. The Thursday Murder Club can feel like listening to a smart conversation, and the humor lands without effort. Eleanor Oliphant often works well in audio because the voice stays consistent and the chapters flow like daily life. The Silent Patient works well if you prefer short, contained bursts. If you choose print, leave the book visible and open to your next chapter, because physical cues reduce the effort of starting. If you choose ebook, use a dedicated app folder and turn off notifications for 10 minutes. If you choose audio, pair it with a repeatable routine like walking, cooking, or commuting. The point is not the perfect format. The point is a format that keeps you returning without negotiation. Most reading comebacks fail for predictable reasons. The first is choosing a book that matches who you want to be, not who you are this week. If you start with a dense epic, you are adding friction on day 1. The second is starting a long series when you are not sure you will finish book 1. Series are wonderful, but commitment anxiety is real. The third is expecting your focus to feel perfect immediately. Attention returns by repetition. This is why this list is built as a ladder. Each starter has a clear job. The Hobbit restores comfort. The Thursday Murder Club restores ease. The Giver restores the feeling of finishing. If you want speed, the thrillers restore pull. The most important correction is to pick the easiest book on the list for you personally, not the one you think you should read. Ease is what gets you back to consistency. Here is the final decision rule. Choose the book that matches your current energy, then commit only to the next 10 minutes. If 10 minutes feels fine, you can do another 10. If it does not, stop and return tomorrow. That is still success. If you want comfort and wonder, start with The Hobbit. If you want low-stress curiosity, start with The Thursday Murder Club. If you want a short win, start with The Giver. If you want propulsion, start with Gone Girl or The Silent Patient. If you want gentle company, start with Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. When you finish, do not reward yourself by taking a break from reading. Reward yourself by choosing your next small step. That can be book 2 in a series or a different tone for variety. Your only job today is to start. The long video has the full restart map, plus a quick way to choose between these 6 starters. If you want one clean action right now, pick the starter that sounds easiest. Ease is not a weakness, ease is the on-ramp. After 2 weeks, you can graduate to heavier books with confidence because your attention will already be warmed up.